Hi guys, Dan from Fit5 Gym. I know it's been a while since I uploaded these videos, but today I want to discuss how many calories should you consume for losing weight and understanding where your calories need to lie. So in order to attain that number, you have to understand what your BMR is, which is your basal metabolic rate, which is basically how much your body burns per day doing little to no activity at rest, energy expended at rest. So I already did some math here to try to save some time. As always, I try to make these videos relatively short and simple. So in this example, we have a 200-pound person times 20% body fat. Last week I did a video on determining your body fat using that machine. We'll give you 40 pounds of total fat. Then you take your total weight minus your body fat. We'll give you what we call your LBM, your lean body mass, which is 160 pounds in this case. Now, for ladies, I normally times it by 11. And if I did 160 times 11, that would give 1760 as your calories for today. For men, we usually times it by 12. 160 times 12 is 1920 calories for the male for weight loss. Now, I want to touch bases on a couple of things. This is a very simplified formula. This does not include your activity level, different things as far as your body type. So there is a very more complex formula in determining that. But when it comes to losing weight and determining your calories, most of everything is kind of an estimate. For example, I know they have Fitbits and other things that try to estimate what your body burns based off your heart rate. It does give you a ballpark number, but it's all estimated. So the best way is just to make it simple, times it by 11 if you're a female, times it by 12 if you're a male. This will give you your daily calorie needs for weight loss. Now, you do have to take what's that word I'm looking for, an account for what does your job look like? Are you a very busy person? Do you move around a lot? Are you on your feet a lot? Are you moving? Or are you sitting in a chair most of the day? If you're sitting in a chair most of the day, you work an office job, and your activity level is minimal, I would stick with this. If your job or your daily routine requires you moving around a lot, where you're walking a lot, or you're tracking your steps, like if you do one of those steps and you realize you're doing 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day, I would strongly recommend at least increasing this by 200 on both sides. So that would change your calorie needs to about 1960 and 2120 if you're a male, and you'll still lose weight at that calorie range. Now, if you don't want to go through all this and you want to try to understand what your calories need to look like to see your body start changing, I recommend just keeping track of what you're doing now. The biggest thing when people make a mistake on is that there's no consistency on their eating patterns. One day they're at 2,100 calories, the next day they're at 800 calories because they starve themselves, then they're at 3,000 calories. It's just all over the place. Your body craves consistency. Imagine trying to build up, let's say work your legs out and you never did legs but like once a month, that was very sporadically. You'll be very disappointed in the results on how your legs look if you only do it sporadically. Your body and nutrition is no different. You need to have some consistency, at least on the calories and the macros that you're consuming. If it's all over the place, it's going to be very hard to track, one, and then two, you're not going to see results that you want to see. So another simplified approach I do with this, as far as losing weight or start seeing some physical change in your body, what are you doing right now? Write down everything you eat, including snacks, and log how many calories you're physically consuming. If you haven't gained weight or lost weight in a while, that's a great way of determining where your body is actually accustomed to as far as your calories. Then I would create a deficit by at least 500 because you need to lose 3,500 calories to lose 1 pound. Create a deficit. So if you do 500 times 7 days, that's 1 pound a week. Now, you also have to determine what you're trying to do. If you're trying to gain muscle and you're at a deficit, it's going to be hard to gain muscle. So what that said is, if you're still wanting to lose some body fat, I would strongly recommend trying to lose that body fat, strip your body down, lean, while maintaining the muscle you worked so hard on already, and then work on building your muscle size back up if that's what you desire to do. You trying to lift super heavy and gain weight or gain muscle and lose weight at the same time, inconsistency on what you're eating and what you're consuming will cause you to run circles. So basically guys, if you like this video, make sure you comment. I want to help you guys on where your calories need to be at, creating a pattern that you can track daily, that you're making sure that you're hitting these numbers daily and that you're not wavering. And then I also want to address before I end this video, it's okay if you have a day where you're well over. For example, Saturday came around, you had a beer, you had chicken wings, and all of a sudden you're at 2,500 calories. Don't punish yourself with exercise. I mean, yes, you want to work out a little bit more cardio for that week without a doubt, but start creating a little bit of a deficit each day for the next 7 days. So I would definitely be like at least 200 calories below for at least a few days to really try to eat clean as possible and try to counteract that weekend splurge. Now, I'm not trying to tell you that as like a life hack, but it does kind of work if you go out and you go to a football game and you have a hamburger, you have something that you need to try to counteract that and get your body to readjust, okay? Consistency with your workouts, making sure you're consistent with your nutrition. Doesn't mean you have to eat the same thing. You could have variety, but that variety needs to end a net balance of your calories. So whether you have a taco, or if you have like chicken breast, or if you eat sweet potatoes or white potatoes. Now, hopefully you're making good choices. You're not eating high sugar or fatty foods. But those net calories need to equal the same or relatively the same consistently long enough until you start tracking progress with your body composition. I hope this helps. Try to keep this video short and sweet. If you have questions, comment below. I'll get to them when I can, guys. Log it off.